Hello! Welcome to the Adventures of Aventus. The rolling hills of knee-high grass and flowers shimmer white in the bright moonlight as gentle wind causes it to sway and wave. A full moon wakes to watch the festivities of the Order of Songs. From tabletops and porches, dozens upon dozens of people play streams of songs. Woodwinds, harps, brass horns, pianos, fiddles, and other instruments of all types play in a deafening barrage of energy. The curse breakers are the focus of the celebration. They enjoy the party thoroughly. The four members of these renowned curse breakers are as follows. The dark-furred tabaxi catman named Sal Rastari. Sal Rastari, swift in body, always holding a drink, and a secret. The gray-furred, skaven rat man named Runai, intelligent and studious, with one normal dark eye, and the other a glowing green rune eye. The passionate, hot pink goblin woman, webbed with mycelial black veins and mushrooms on her head, named Kidney Bean. And lastly, the otherworldly, fair-haired and light-skinned Aesmar woman named Eos Dawntrail, complete with a set of lovely, eagle-like wings. These adventurers set out on a journey that has brought them to be renowned in 3 separate villages and cultures. They have been praised for saving innumerable lives by destroying the corrupt and mysterious artifacts that seem to have surfaced from underground around 7 months ago. An ancient entity known only as the One Who Lies Between seems to have some part to play in the cursed verdant orbs. These artifacts are green spheres that possess different abilities that sew disease and chaos together like a well-made tapestry of terror. Something called out 7 months ago, drawing in curious and ambitious people to retrieve the orbs. Now, having located and destroyed 2 of these orbs, the curse breakers know that something bad is happening in Aventus. But there are motivations that layer this promise of ensuing chaos with ever more complications. Sal Rastari has gained a new family and has made grand accomplishments. He desperately tries to create new meaning in his life, but he runs from his memories and his past while charging his regrets to a tab of debt so large he may never be able to pay it. Runai fights disease and curse alike to claim personal honor and distinction for he and his family, although the shadow of his origin still lurks over him. He has a burning desire to see things put right. A strong connection to his brothers and his creator may be what brings about his dreams or his nightmares. Kidney Bean knows her identity and knows what she's capable of. However, amnesia looms over her past like a fog of war, obscuring everything from before 2 years ago. She fights with substance abuse and debts, trying to answer questions and recover from dark, flashing memories that haunt her. And lastly, Eos Dawntrail seeks her missing brother, Helios, that has been gone for over a year. While trying to focus on this goal, however, the horror of the One Who Lies Between and the strangeness of her companions alike keep her unbalanced and grasping at elusive handholds on this reality. We may also mention our found companion, the Arbiter of Knowledge himself, named Wiser. He's a pale, pearl-colored genie with a purple jacket that has an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. And this night, as Eos tries to take the sidelines mostly at this party at the Order of Songs, he is subtly encouraging you to take a drink or go out and dance. He's just like, you deserve to have some fun, don't you see? It's been a very difficult encounter. Perhaps you should put yourself out there.
Forgive me, I'm just not feeling it right now. That last fight was not quite what I was hoping it would be.
I understand, but look at this. These people love you. Don't you feel any connection to them?
I mean, it's not that I don't appreciate it. I'm just a little out of my element right now.
Last we left off, you guys we did a little bit of time skippy things because we kind of have to do that for the sake of finishing up the stream in a timely manner. But you guys received your reward. That would have been dispensed the next morning after the party. If there was anything else you wanted to do this night, now would be the time to let me know, because we're going to move on pretty quickly.
I think I'm good.
Yep, I'm good.
Likewise.
All
Yeah,
right.
sad just be drinking for a bit.
Then we'll do a bit of a time skip. The next morning, after you have the meeting with a retinue of the singers or the leaders of this order of songs have come to you and found you and given you the donations that have been gathered up for the group. They bid you their apologies and their farewells because they know that you'll be moving on soon. And it was Dakin or Dakar? I'm not exactly sure what his name was, but that guy has definitely made it clear that he was sorry that he treated you guys so rudely the last time, and that you are welcome here anytime you need a place to crash or to lay low. What are you guys doing this next morning? I imagine you probably would have stayed with the Fireleaf family for the night.
I imagine we all need to discuss what comes next. So probably everybody gets together, I'm sure, and Sal's first thought is, so where do we go from here? You all still seem dead set to go back to the upper area?
Wasn't Runai wanting to go to a tower?
Yes, if we accompany Jargo back to Crane, then we could potentially gain access to the portal so we could take a trip and make our journey a bit easier on our weary minds and bodies alike.
Yeah, besides, we could always stop and grab some more supplies while we're in the city, too. You know, health potions, food, such, though I'm pretty sure we're good on food after last night's celebration. Oh, I still have a slight headache.
You should drink some water. It'll help you feel better.
Water schmata. I don't need it, sugar. I'm experienced.
The best cure for a hangover is more alcohol. It just puts it off.
Oh, dear.
But I must say, while I was hoping for a more delayed trip, I guess it would seem we really have no reason to not go back and take the teleporter.
There's gonna be a knock at the front door. Currently, you guys are sitting around the Fireleaf Estate table. Looks like they're all rising fairly late today. You haven't seen Sindari or Farendi as of yet, but there's still a slight knocking at the door.
Don't come in, I'm naked.
One of you might take a look out that window that is cut to look like a leaf on fire, and look outside, see in the front that it actually is Jargo, the Tabaxi nobleman who was recently imprisoned at the Farcrest prison.
Yeah, Kidney Bean will go to the door, see who it is, and just kind of slowly open it and be like, "Oh, look what the cat dragged in. How you doing this morning?"
He smiles. He kind of has one hand on his head, over his shaggy, light brown fur. He looks like he might be experiencing a bit of a hangover. There's also some stray strands of wheat in his hair. Says, y'all could have put me in a bed last night. I was out of it. Slept with the horses.
Well, at least the
Not gonna
horses
lie, I
had
did try
company.
and look for you, but I just didn't see you.
What was that, Eos?
At least the horses had company.
He kind of groans and walks in. Is there anything to eat in here?
Yes, come enjoy some breakfast.
You are just in time for us to discuss perhaps returning with you as well.
I seem to remember something being spoken of along those lines last night. It's a little bit difficult to remember, though.
I'm assuming it has been quite a few years since you have got to enjoy yourself like this, since you are taking it so rough.
I was sent over here to this cursed country about 3 months ago.
Only
Anyway,
3 months, and you're already this unfamiliar with the day after.
it comes and goes. Anyway, well, so you're going with me to Crane? We're gonna hit up the dice tables there.
Hey, no. I told you, no gambling. You gotta get on the straight and narrow. You don't want to go back to that weird ass prison or whatever it was.
These kind people gave me like 150 gold last night. You telling me not to use it? I guess. You might have a point. I did get in trouble last time. Eos, you would hear Wiser kind of pipe up. He's like, I have a hypothesis I might like to speak of with you all. I don't know if you're ready to talk just yet. Everyone's probably experiencing a hangover except for you.
Well, I guess I could ask everyone if they're up for a lecture or two.
And you guys would hear her say that.
Yes, are we looking at an early morning steam bath from our friend?
Ha ha, very funny. But yes.
Let's see if I get the music restarted. I don't know what's going on with it.
Well, we are all here. It is not another person to add to the party.
Just promise me this one's gonna be a little bit more interesting than when he first came, or, when he came out yesterday. That really put me to sleep. It's kind of nice, though.
He says, I don't have any promises, but I'll try to keep it relevant. And he will begin to slowly emerge in a pearlescent stream of steam from Eos's ears, mostly, and a bit out of your mouth and nostrils as well. It's like he just comes out like a strange, wispy emanation that slowly turns into his genie-like form.
And there's the man of the hour himself. All right, what's your hypothesis?
Hold on. I guess the music app's completely broken now. Because I can't
Uh-oh.
even stop it or start it. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
Hold on a second. It's not even in the call anymore. Cue the technical difficulties music.
Dun 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 dun.
Damn it, it's not working at all. It just stopped.
So that's what dropped out earlier. Okay.
That's never happened before. That's we'll have to figure out a fix for that. All right, no
We don't
music.
need music. We'll make our own music.
Okay. Everybody just let the voices inside your head continue on. In your head, in your
my
head.
god.
He
It
comes
was worse
out.
because I was right next to him.
He kind of mimics that he bends at the hip and sits at an open place in the table beside the rest of whoever's sitting. It's okay, curse breakers. I have a hypothesis. But before we begin, how about we vote on a nickname for the one who lies between? I'm really tired of saying it all the way out. We could go with something befitting of his terrifying nature, or
I vote for Jerkface.
Jerkface is a good one. I was thinking
Pain in the ass.
pain in the ass.
What about sandwich? That's something that's between something.
No, sandwiches are delicious.
I actually love all these. I was gonna go with green balls, but those are all fucking wonderful.
Hmm.
I am so confused right now and kind of terrified. Kennedy just looks
Oh,
around
yes.
nervously at all of these like four beings just talking about something she doesn't understand.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, kidney bean. Hopefully, you don't have to find out more about this because let's admit it, after that last little kerfuffle we dealt with, this is beyond all of us. But yes, apparently there's something going on with this
Well,
thing
let's-
from somewhere.
Yes, that is the subject of my discussion, which is why I wanted to get this across in the early parts. I like sandwich actually. But we can go with asshole,
Well,
jerk face, or any of those will
How-
work.
how about the in-betweener?
The the tweener,
In-betweener.
in betweener. Okay, that's good
It
too.
hits the cross. It is a bit shorter. It is not bad.
How's it spelled?
I'm illiterate.
I mean, if you want something simple, you can call it the whom. Sounds ominous, and clearly this
The
thing is.
whom. Well, either way, if I say any of the above mentioned things, you know who I'm talking about. Well, let me proceed with my hypothesis here, or hypothesi. What's plural of that? Hypotheses. Anyway, he's obviously an ancient evil entity. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Some sort of connection with these verdant orb artifacts that started surfacing 7 months ago. It seems to me that the orbs draw in attentions in some way. Seems that first they only draw the attention of one individual. I'm thinking of Varnalin, Stonebreaker's grandson, and the warden of Farcrest Lilyhorn. I think this initial drawing in is so narrow, perhaps, because the orb's initial level of energy was extremely low when these artifacts first emerged, manifested, summoned. Still not sure how they came to be. But perhaps they were always there and only had this initial energy given to them all at once? Not sure. Either way. Oh, our music has decided to return.
Welcome back.
Wow, I guess, I don't know, their servers are running hot or something.
Time delay.
Either way, the orb expends all its energy to draw in an intelligence. I further believe, based on my studies of the dwarves and what we observed at the Pool of Tears, that the orbs are vampiric. They certainly seem to absorb psychic energy. Not sure if it absorbs more than that, but if enough psychic energy is absorbed, maybe it could potentially do damage to one's soul as well. But I'm getting a little bit off track here. The main hypothesis I have is this. For some reason, these artifacts, spread over the world somehow, were activated to draw in and begin assimilating and absorbing life. Insects, animals, people. There is some activation. I'm not sure what it is. But Sandwich here has some sort of goal that he's trying to achieve.
Are we really going with Sandwich?
Oh, that was just the first one that popped to my mind.
It's just making me hungrier now.
Eat your breakfast, Sal. You'll be fine.
But I kind of want a sandwich now.
Anyway, we know that these orbs were both found near places where planes of existence interconnect. The first one was at the Plutonium Gate in the Endural Mines, and the Pool of Tears in the Whitehorn Forest just now. I'm going out on a limb, guessing that the Plutonium Gate is some kind of portal to another plane, if one knows how to activate it. We know that the Pool of Tears led to the Feywild. Unfortunately, I didn't get to research much on that particular subject. But, my hunches are nearly never wrong. So if this is all the case, we should be able to look for other places where the entrances to other planes exist, and perhaps are within a few miles of open caves or tunnels? I don't know, that's kind of going out on a limb. There's obviously, I believe, going to be some more of these out there.
Hold up, Booger Bear. You talk about this like we are some sort of fighting force that is going out to do this. We are a bunch of fuck-ups. We are nobody. You can't expect us to be, heroes of some great dimensions, right? I'm a drunkard for crying out loud.
Hey, watch your mouth, Sal. I don't know who you're talking about except for yourself. I am somebody. Though, I will say, hearing all this does make me feel a little bit in over my head. Besides, I feel like I've seen those green rings and Guado's eyes, was it? I feel like I've seen that before. It's hazy, though.
I do not mean it in a bad way, but what he is speaking of, we are not knights in shining armor. This sounds like something above our pay grade, quite honestly. Sure, the name is fun, Curse Breakers, but
Ah, yes, the trepidation of the newly formed hero. I do remember those days. Remember telling myself, I'm just a bookworm. All I do is read and stay in the library. There's no reason I should have to fight this orc. It's quite cute, but I think we should get over that act by now, don't you think? You've already destroyed 2 of these things, and it's obviously interwound with your destiny.
Destiny. I am a simple bar owner, and we have a rat person that's has a eye. Okay, maybe he has some crazy destiny. We have a goblin that's maybe she has something going for her. Eos. Okay, maybe you are. Maybe there is something here. Granted, but my destiny. I am going to die in my cups, more than likely.
I mean, you could always opt for water. Just a thought.
Hey, Sal. Do you feel this way for because of what you were talking about with Jago in the Whitehorn Forest?
Are you talking about my dealings with the Pearsons?
Well, yeah, I guess. But I remember you talking to him saying that you how do I say this in a more friendly way? Unalived people.
Hey, can you repeat that? You glitched out for a second. Just
Yeah, you
one more
roboted a
time.
little
One more
bit.
time.
Sorry. Kind of, but more, how do I say this in a nice way? You were talking with Jargo about unaliving people?
Oh, that was just a quick way of making more money than I probably should have. That's, you could say I was just a go-between. That is not my reason for believing that I am not much for this group.
He had many bottles of this blue dryad at his establishment in the Merchant Coast City. He's got a bit of a history, Jargo says.
I had a very
Kenny
good
Bean
one.
gives Sal. Kenny Bean gives Sal the most like bombastic side eye, just like, you think I don't see you, but I see you.
I had a very good bar.
then-
People liked my bar.
Uh-huh.
Did anyone actually get killed from that blue dryad? I don't remember there being any murder cases.
I passed it off. It was not mine to give to people. But
So
you take it for what you know.
You were just the middleman. That is what you said. Yes, I remember now.
I got it into the city and handed it off.
Hmm.
Anyways, Wiza, what was the point you were trying to make?
I think that this has come upon us as a responsibility. I mean, who else in this world may have gotten to witness what we have and know of an upcoming evilness that has ties across multiple regions? Well, I guess what I mean is, if we don't deal with it, what do you think could happen if another one of those orbs finds its way into Crane or Andridge or the Merchant Coast City or Motive, I guess. Either way, if it gets into a populated center, it could be an apocalyptic event.
I think there are people better suited for this, is what I think. Sure, we could inform some of the higher-ups of what we know. Getting into Andridge could probably, be like, hey, if you see some orbs, break them. But, you're talking like we're supposed to be heroes.
Sal, I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. I mean, look at what happened with the druids. With the Whitehorn Forest. They were more than capable. And yet... Well, we were there. We saw what they looked like, what that orb did.
I believe that it is possible that for some reason, because of your involvement with these orbs thus far, has given you some sort of resistance to its magic. And perhaps the only reason you were able to hold off as long as you did in the Whitehorn Forest was because of the first orb that you had broken, that was still in its infancy. Or perhaps, and this is maybe what the truth is because that first orb wasn't being controlled by someone who knew how to control it. And this second one was.
Yeah, speaking of that orb, the fucker that was in that forest, he clearly knew what he was doing with it. You're telling us that is something you can learn? Like, that is not just something he was able to do?
He must have some sort of connection with the in-betweener, and he is knowledgeable of it. I wasn't able to discern any way to activate or use the first orb when we looked at it, but on the other hand, I didn't really look at it that close.
I forget, that was you that had the first orb around, right? You were doing stuff, checking on it and whatnot?
To be clear, that whole situation with it being up in that strange shadow web was there whenever I arrived already. I simply restricted my research to the catatonia of the 3 dwarves that were there and tried to stay away from that artifact, because I kind of sensed that there was going to be some difficulties in handling it. And I know I haven't not talked much of my reality or my person at all, but I am much an entity of soul and spirit. Something like that could destroy me much faster than something of flesh and blood. I have to stay away from such things.
Well, I will say, regardless of if you believe that we are dead set to be the ones to fix this or not, do you know where more of these things are so we can avoid them?
Well, the first thing was on my mind is the teleportantus in Krane. You know, there are teleporters in many of the larger cities, and I'm not sure, but I think they only lead to other cities. If any of them led to any other planes of existence, it could be an attractive spot for one of the other orbs to make their way to, so to speak, or for Gordo to find and bring to said location. I don't know. I'm just bringing this to the table. It's up for debate and discussion.
Bruna, you have not said a lot on this. We are heading there for your sake now, mostly. Aside from yours, also having things to do there. What do you have to say on this whole greater heroes of the realms situation?
Well, I mean, from my own histories, I do believe there is an intermingling of sorts when it comes to fate, and I'm not one to really look away from that. I believe that we are not predestined, so to speak, but it could be a road that leads us further our own paths, and, well, I do not believe that this is coincidental with us having not one, but 2 run-ins with the sandwich so far, and these orbs. And I do find it quite fascinating, though, that each orb that we have encountered has possessed completely different powers. And so it does have me a bit worried on what we may encounter next. If we do perhaps pursue this, what will the next orb's power look like? And will we be able to properly defend ourselves from whatever onslaught it passes our way?
Sal slowly bangs his head to the table. So you believe in fate. And Kidney Bean, you seem to believe you have a connection to this in some way. Eos, please tell me you're not a crazy suckered into this as well.
I don't know. I'm very much unsure of where I stand on everything.
That's all right. Since we don't know where the next one will be coming, it'll probably find us. We should probably just continue with whatever plans we are already undertaking. I'm gonna go to the Fortress of Fears and meet Runai's wife. I'll say it's been many, many years since I've been to the Wizard's Tower and the surrounding area. I'd be glad to be around there, though I may stay hidden most of the time. I don't want some of the practitioners up there to catch wind of my existence.
I thought the whole reason that Eos wants to go there is because of you, to get a reliquary or something for your sake.
Oh yes, you could do that on the side, but we're gonna go look for Helios up there and ask some questions as well, see where his pilgrimage ended up.
Ultimately, yes, that's what I would like to do, but I don't think your issue would be considered a side quest either, so much as we're just going to get it done regardless.
We shall see. We'll see what the mood is like once we get to Andridge, and if people are talking of dark times and evil magic in the air, well, we probably know something's going on. Anyway, first we have to make our way to Krane. Jargo kind of looks over at you, Eos. He's leans in a little closer and sort of tries to be nonchalant about it. Says, you trust this genie?
I mean, he kind of lives in my head right now. I don't have much of a choice.
So you are possessed by it?
I wouldn't say possessed. He does ask for permission before he comes out, but close enough.
Does he ask permission to go back in?
No, now that I think about it, he doesn't.
Then he does not require permission, does he?
Well, usually when he goes back inside, I'm kind of thankful for it.
Excuse me, Jargo. I'd appreciate it if you weren't sowing seeds of discord with my host. Can you please go back to your meal?
Don't worry, Jago. I will say, so far he is not really as troublesome as some of the people we have dealt with. And by that I mean me and you, the Piercers and whatnot. He is make do. We just like to see him as the external voices in Eos's head.
I could be sort of like the mascot for the Curse Breakers, right? Could be a mascot.
You're a freak is what you are.
You want
I
to be
think you make a
mascot?
great mascot.
Does this mean we have rights to make like figurines and such for the kids?
All right.
Oh, that's
We
a
are
wonderful
not-
idea.
We are not making my brain fart a mascot. It's not happening.
I think it's a wonderful idea. My mice can be secondary mascots.
Wait.
Kenny Bean stands up, just kind of slams her hands on the table, and then just leaves and goes outside.
Don't worry, she's gonna go find us some representatives for branching out in franchises.
I was gonna say maybe
No, I'm
maybe she wanted to be the mascot.
I got a little careless there, sorry. I see any sort of comfort and latch onto it with both hands. Probably not a good idea for me to be a mascot. I would like to keep my identity as secretive as possible.
My gosh. I can't win with you guys.
So, anyway...
I will admit, I don't think he would look good on a shirt.
He frowns.
So, anyway, I guess we should
Alright.
probably make sure that Kidney Bean is not seriously upset by this. So,
Well, we're about to go into a little bit of a time skippy area anyway, I think, because you guys are probably going to head towards Crane soon, right?
I think we
Think
refilled
so.
our rations and stuff, right?
Right,
Also,
right.
I will be. I'll be right back. I have to pee.
Okay. I believe in the timeline of things, most likely this whole conversation would have happened before you talk to the singers and get your reward, the 5,000 gold, that you've already split, and, you start getting your stuff together. You'll see off the Fireleafs, Sindari, and Farendi, of course, give everyone 2 or 3 hugs and well wishes. Hope that you come back as soon as you can. It's a warm
Yeah, I'm gonna
parting
pet-
scene.
I'm gonna pet Stardust too before I leave. Maybe, do a couple of pony rides with the little ones.
Oh, that's precious. Yeah, you would see Kidney Bean out there riding this black pony around with several normal human and very cute halfling children as well. They're little larger than babies, but with more developed muscles and able to cling onto a saddle or onto calf muscles, which is what they seem to be doing at the moment. And slowly sliding off the pony that hasn't started walking yet.
I'm back.
Anyway, it's a beautiful, warm scene of parting, and many of the other people come by and give you pats on the back and well wishes as well. Right before you finally make the way all the way outside of sort of the perimeter of the Order of Songs, where it really just turns into a road through wild hills. Dakar? What is his name? Is it? I think it's like
Deacon?
Dakin? Yeah, Dakin, that's it. Dakin makes his way.
That's what I have in notes.
Yeah, Dakin makes his way to you, very in a hustle, like sort of jogging up behind you. And he's holding a pair of boots. And he says, hold on just a second. I have something for you. Strangest thing, once you guys turn around and regard him, he doesn't seem to be winded in the least, though he's probably been jogging for a few minutes. And he looks at you with these boots, says, apologize the awkwardness of the situation, but there is something that came for you today. Just about an hour ago, we had an emissary from the Grung people that brought us a gift. Go figure, I don't know why. They said that they wish to have peace with the Order of Songs and the rest of the druids. Once again, some sort of madness has alleviated in many of their crazier
It's not
members.
those freaking frogs, was it?
It's the
The
peepers.
peepers. It's the peepers.
Yes, the frog-like people that live near the river Exodus. Yeah, they had an emissary come and bring me these boots. It's supposed to be a magical set, and I figured there's no one that deserves this particular reward more than you. And also, we may not have any need of these. I haven't identified them yet, but here, you may take them with you. He hands them over.
Takes the boots.
The boots look like they are very dark green leather, and they have like a loose sort of covering at the top that's of a green, like, woven cloth. You're not sure what they do, but they look nice.
Huh. Well then. Cool?
This being said, I don't think Runai or Sal can wear boots.
Nope.
Yeah, I feel like it would take away from my ability to claw with my feet.
Yeah, it's just the anatomy doesn't work. These look like it's definitely for humanoid feet.
Well, Eos, try them on. What, do you think we're all gonna stare at your feet? What, do you have like hairy feet or something?
No! I thought maybe Kidney Bean might like them.
Well, she's got sandals on most of the time. You would notice if she had hairy feet. But you guys could talk about it. I mean, probably the first order here would be to identify them.
Oh, what are they even? I mean, they look nice, and my boots are getting a little worn down after all this traveling.
Why don't we go find someone to identify them first, just in case the papers are still being strange?
Don't we literally have a genie that lives in your head that knows all about this magical crap?
Yes, I suppose we do.
Identification is 50 gold. That's what you hear him say in your head. Yes.
Really? It's
What did he
50 gold
say?
to stay in my head. Get
And
your ass out here.
Roll a persuasion or intimidation check, Eos. Everything got deathly serious and quiet.
It's a 9.
Don't forget, if you want to fix that, you have luck.
That's true, I do.
You hear him.
I'll use my luck.
You hear him respond. I think that there are other available individuals nearby, and also 50 gold is cheap. Okay, so
You'll do what you're told. Get out here. I rolled a 21.
what?
Use luck.
Oh, you rolled a 21.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose this one time I'll do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Alright, he comes out and identifies the boots. Now, technically, you can add boots of striding and leaping to your inventory, but they have an additional ability. They can also, once per day, cast Feathered Fall with a range of self, or the spell Jump. Not both.
I feel like that would work really, really well for Kidney Bean just outside of the game. I am not gonna lie, considering the type of character she is.
Staying out of the fray, yeah.
Eos is going to hand the boots over to Kidney Bean. If you
Yeah, what
want
is
them,
your,
they're yours.
What is your running speed again? Is it 25?
Mine is
It's 30.
well, it's 30, but I also picked up the mobile feat, so and I forgot to write it down, but I think that adds like an extra 10 feet of movement, so I think it's 40 now.
Well, that's nice. Either way, you can call these Exodus River boots.
I am writing that down.
So are they boots of striding and springing, or are they a different kind of...
They're boots of striding and
boots?
springing, but with the added effect of being able to cast one of those spells once a day.
Okay.
It's a slightly better version.
All right, and what were the besides the spells? What was the other effect of it?
Featherfall with a range of self, or dispel jump once per day. Not both, only one.
Yeah.
So you can jump off something really tall and survive, or you can jump across a massive chasm of some sort with these things. Probably will help you at some point in the future.
Yeah, because this is something that Sal gets naturally. And since Runai can't wear them, because they would benefit Runai a good bit. But since Runai is not a boot person.
I would say that, like, if you wanted to wear boots, and you could probably get them modified to where you could wear them, but it costs money to do that and time. So it wouldn't be something you could immediately jump to as a solution. And also, you know, you guys are kind of in the same category of long-range damage. And actually, Runai has a close-range option, and Kidney Bean does not. Or at least not that I know of. Well, she has the Arms of Hadar. So I guess you both have some close-range options, and it would benefit either one of you.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I guess Kidney Bean has it for now. We'll proceed to Krane. You guys make your way to the south. And as you're passing through the sort of swamp-like lands around the Exodus River, and you begin passing the inn, you can't help but look to the left and right down the rushing waters and try to spot maybe a pair of black orbs peeking at you from underneath the water.
Runai, Peepus.
Are you serious already? We just left.
No, it's just a mirage. There's no eyes watching you there. You just look around for them. Further on down, you keep proceeding off into the distance. Krane. Of course, I've described Krane before, but I might as well do it again. Let me see here. The trees begin to become more sparse, and you see the grass also gives way to sand and compacted dirt. And in the distance, Krane. Like a desert mirage made real. Elegant elven spires reaching upward in parallel groups, their flowing lines creating natural arches between buildings. Everything is built from petrified wood and ivory, smooth and pale and ancient. The architecture grows organically in the elven way of architecture. But as you know, the city has that strange corruption of time where some buildings may be threadbare down to their structural supports, and others look like they were just built yesterday. And that can often change. But today, you are making your way closer. Kidney Bean, you feel a bit of anxiety and trepidation, remembering that group of thugs that had followed you out on the road as you made your exit.
I can't believe I'm already coming back here. Yeah, if those guys come and, try and take me, y'all are gonna hold them, right?
We are not gonna let them have you that easily. But do you think they will be a problem? Do we need to make a very quick retreat out of Crane?
Probably for the best. I'm not too worried about dealing with them, but I don't want to deal with the repercussions of the gods afterwards. You know?
How late in the day is it right now?
I was just gonna say, right around the area where you would have crossed the river would have been the time you guys slept for the next day, because it's a very long ways. If you guys had any vignettes, we could read that out there. And if not, we could just proceed. And today it would be almost sunset. You noticing the prismatic light coming off of that crystal tower beginning to be even more prominent as the daylight diminishes.
Well, I know I was gonna talk to Runai sometime at night when we took a break.
Okay, well, you can either say it happened last night or this night. Would you rather do it in a tavern or by the river in a campsite?
Probably by a campsite.
All right, well, let's just rewind just right before this anxious feeling that Kidney Bean's feeling about re-entering the city, and move instead to a nice campsite, I'm sure, that Eos has set up for everyone. And you guys eating and talking around a fire. Yeah, if you guys don't have exhaustion levels and it's not like a particularly dangerous event, I'm not going to make you roll for survival to make every single campsite. So proceed.
I think once everything's set, it'd be later in the night once maybe shifts change out or something for watch, that Sal would come by Runai. Runai, do you have some spare time?
Why, yes, of course I do.
Let's go talk for a bit. Maybe
All right.
just a bit offside. He kind of leads him out, not fully away from the camp, but far enough where they could talk kind of quieter and away from everybody. So I feel like I owe you a bit of an apology. I feel like a lot of what happened back there was my fault for pushing you into this.
Well, what do you mean by that exactly?
You did not want to do that. You wanted to keep going, and you were very much within your rights to want to keep going. And I may have talked you into following suit just because it was my own want.
Well, I mean, we all have wants and desires, and I don't believe you really have anything to apologize for, my friend.
Well, I feel like you have stated before that you would be open to hearing my troubles. And I will admit, I wanted you and Kidney Bean there in case things went badly. I believed you two would be able to get Eos out. I did not intend to leave, but I had hoped you two would get her out, because that was the biggest concern.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we're all a team here, you know. don't believe any of us would leave any of the other behind, really.
Which brings me to ask that if it ever comes to that situation, and I am behind Kitios and Kidney Bean out. If I make it out, it is on my own, and I do not risk you all.
On one condition.
Eos, you are not there.
This is a private convo. We're off screen.
Eos was eavesdropping. She was dropping some eaves.
Always.
Kenny Bean
You
was
can't
doing it too.
escape.
Kenny Bean has telepathic speech. She can speak into people's minds.
So, Unai, I do also feel like I have a bit of an admission to make, since it is us. I do not want to go to the space that you are wanting to go. I have bad memories there. And to be completely honest, I was going to ditch you all once we got close.
Oh, I see. Well, to be fair, where we're going, we're just passing through Andridge. At least my tower is not there particularly. It's just in the region itself. And I personally have no interest in Andridge itself. I need to get to the tower. And, well, my reasons for that, and he's gonna pull out the letter and hand it to Sal to read. Do you have that letter, Will?
I do. Somewhere. Hold on. I gotta find what I did with it.
This is the letter that my wife wrote me, and it's not just a matter of wanting to see her or my brother. My mentor, so to speak, the man who created what I am and gave me my freedom, there's trouble with him. And I owe him everything. So he's got the letter.
Which this will definitely put a little more guilt on me now, knowing that I've talked you away from this even further.
That is not my intention, but I just wanted you to know, since we're being open and honest here, I do have a timeline a bit because, well, he might be on trial a bit, and there's a time frame for when that's going on.
You can read it. You can read it out if you want to, so everyone knows what it says.
Yeah, well, do you have it?
I sent it to his Discord,
Okay.
or I can read it
you
if
can
you
read
would
it.
like that instead. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can if you want to. I'm kind of seeing if there's anything I need to catch right now.
Okay. Dearest Runai, I have sat at this writing desk for 4 days now. Each evening, in the hour before the candle burns too low for reading, I draw out your letters and read them through again. Every word, every ink-stained line, searching for details I may have missed in my worry. The pages are beginning to soften at the folds from this handling. I find myself entirely at a loss for words adequate to describe what I feel for you in these long months apart. Pride and terror occupy me in equal measure, and they sit most uncomfortably side by side. The desert crossings alone, the heat, the dust, the sheer unforgiving vastness of such a place would have felled a lesser soul. And yet it is not the land itself that troubles my sleep most nights. It is the people who inhabit it. You know as well as I do that the inhospitable and the frightened can be a far more dangerous thing than any beast or bandit. A monster, at least, acts according to its nature, Men are less predictable, and I find myself whispering small prayers each evening that those you encounter see you for what you are, a soul of rare and extraordinary worth. And that is to say nothing yet of Ettercross Jungle, nor the Pale, nor of the one whose name I find I am reluctant to commit to paper, the one who lies between. I do not pretend to understand fully what it is you face out there, but I understand enough to know that the world of Aventus holds powers that operate beyond the comprehension of ordinary folk. Some are so vast they might crush you underfoot without ever becoming aware of your presence. Others, I fear, may become very aware indeed, aware of that singular and remarkable power within you, and covet it greatly. Please, my love, walk carefully in the corners of this world. Not all shadows are empty. I am so profoundly proud of you. That must be said plainly and without qualification. You set out to accomplish something that most would have considered impossible, and from what I read in your letters, you are doing precisely that. Whatever doubts you carry, and I know you carry them, for you always have, please know that they are not shared by those of us who know you best. Now, there are matters closer to home of which you must be informed. Barnabas is currently under sanction by the archmages of the Tower. He has been formally charged on 3 accounts: the practice of unlicensed necromancy, sedition against the conclave, and the inhumane treatment of imprisoned subjects. I shall not dress this gently. It is an utter fabrication, a load of absolute rubbish, dressed up in official language and stamped with wax seals. He is to stand before the wizard's court at the Tower come autumn, and the household has been in quiet uproar ever since the summons arrived. We believe, and I think you'll find this unsurprising, that it was Pescio who brought those charges. He must have obtained some manner of evidence, whether misconstrued, manipulated, or outright fabricated, sufficient to draw the Tower into what has until now been a private conflict. You will remember how many times he inserted himself into Barnabas's work, how often he arrived unannounced to observe the warpstone experiments, always with that particular look of hunger behind his eyes. Barnabas, of course, never granted him the time of day. None of us thought, however, that he would stoop to involving the conclave in order to get his hands on those experimental logs. Seems we underestimated his desperation. Shardpaw is beside himself with worry, as you might imagine. He has barely slept a full night since the summons arrived, and has taken to pacing the library after midnight. Barnabas himself, in a fashion that is equal parts maddening and oddly reassuring, seems to have largely forgotten he is being sanctioned on most days. Yesterday morning, he spent 3 hours annotating Regent catalogs and humming to himself as though nothing whatsoever were amiss. I confess there are moments I envy him that. On a considerably lighter note, the garden is doing beautifully. The orange, yellow, and red lantanas are come into their fullest bloom and have been drawing the most extraordinary butterflies I have ever had the pleasure of witnessing. This very morning, several dozen settled upon my shoulders and arms at once while I stood among the beds. I stood and as still as possibly and could watch them open and close their wings in the early sun. I thought of you, as I do in every quiet moment. I think of you every moment of the day, my dear husband. I need you to find your way home to me as soon as it is at all possible. Not as a request, but as something close to a necessity. I must confirm with my own eyes and ears that you still breathe, that your heart still beats, that those ridiculous ears of yours are still standing upright and catching the wind. Write to me when you can. Come home when you can. With all the love I possess, Alara Dusquillo.
Sal just looks between the note to Runai, and back to the note, then back to Runai. It is a lot to unfold right there, my friend.
Yes, I know it's a lot, and I didn't want to bring it up particularly when everything else was going on, but I do have my obligations there at this time.
It does explain that you do seem to be a little more perky at the name of that guy who's beneath us or whatever.
Yes.
So, with this new bit of knowledge and more guilt weighing on me for drawing this out a bit more, I say that to make it up to you, I will not be abandoning you or the group before we get to where we are heading. I will see it through and make sure you get back to your lovely wife.
It is most appreciated, and I respect your virtue for going through something that is uncomfortable to you for my sake and our sake in general. It is very appreciated, Salazar.
I would not call it virtue. It is, maybe perhaps I'm hoping for a horrible outcome for me back there. I don't know. But you have said before that you would listen if I had words to say on my past.
Absolutely.
And I guess I could say my past there, I had children. I had not what I would call wives, but I had 2 companions, and things soured with me and the Pearsons, and I ran. They seemed to say that they took my daughter, and I ran hard. The fact that I ran away from my children, I cannot ever recover from that. And I do not believe that they are still with us. But I quietly hope for that they are.
Well, thank you for opening up with me, Sal. But would you not wish to just know for closure what may have happened?
I
just
want to
close this
die. Right?
Oh, he just said for closure's sake.
I want to die believing that my daughter is living a very happy life. If that is how I die, I can be I do not have to worry about the next life. If I find out that she did not live, I do not want there to be a next life.
That is understandable. Maybe we can just get in there and leave as quickly as we can since it will be uncomfortable for you. Or perhaps we are not even sure if the portal may lead somewhere close by and we can avoid. And you said this all happened in Andridge, correct?
No, it was all in the Merchant Coast City. And
I
even, honestly, it has been more than 10 years. I do not believe they are actively seeking me out.
Yes. Well,
Perhaps did Eos or Kidney Bean hear you reading the letter out, or are we just saying that they just know it for player sake?
I know Kidney Bean personally would get curious because from the moment she's met Sal, she knows there's something up with him and she can't quite figure out what it is. So I feel like she would try and eavesdrop from a distance.
I'll tell you what, roll a stealth check, and Sal, roll a perception check. And we will say that if the case is the stealth is higher, that you got to eavesdrop on that information, and if it is lower, then he would not have spoken it until he was sure you were not able to hear. But I was particularly asking about the letter from his wife, particularly if Weiser had heard Eos hear it or not. That's my question. Because you said you were eavesdropping, but you didn't say you were reading it aloud or anything. I figure we would just reading it for the sake that everybody knows what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, if nobody heard it, then I mean, it's not personal, knowledge. Now we can just pass the letter around when we get back. If no.
Yeah, in the event that it comes up, that can just be knowledge now.
okay. All right.
Well,
okay, good.
I will say, so I got a 9, but also because I haven't used any spell slots today, and this is happening before we go to bed, would I be able to careful cast Detect Thoughts on Sal?
I'll say this: I got a 9 as well.
Okay. Well, beat it. You would see Kidney Bean trying to be kind of like surreptitious or whatever, and not allowing her to listen in. If that was your goal, you don't have to let her listen in. Now, as far as detecting his thoughts, you could try to do that. Let's see, what is it? A wisdom saving throw?
Careful.
Careful, cat?
Yeah, or...
So what is that, quiet, or what?
Yeah, I think so. Let me pull up Detect Thoughts. But I was gonna, careful cast it, because I don't want him to know that I am actually casting the spell. So I was gonna spend some of my sorcerer points to... that way he just thinks I'm just eavesdropping and I can't actually hear him.
Okay, well, Detect Thoughts won't allow you to hear him, but you might be able to see what he's seeing in his head, which might be just as good.
Yes. That was my thought.
Because I'd say Sal is not trying to keep her from hearing. If she's trying to eavesdrop, he's like, whatever. His main concern is getting this across with Runai and kind of making that more connection with him.
Right.
If she's just happening to hear, he's just like that. That's what she wants.
All right, do you still want to cast Detect Thoughts if you can just barely pick up his words and understand them?
Yeah, I will, and because I also, he didn't read the no out loud, I don't think that's what was said, right?
Yeah, he did not read it out loud, so...
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have read it out right.
Yeah, so I want to... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because I also want to know what was in that note. So, yeah, I will spend 2 of my sorcery points and then cast Detect Thoughts on Sal. That way Kidney Bean, could see the note in his head and then also get a better understanding of what's going on.
Are you going to probe deeper, or are you just going to do the surface thoughts?
Yeah, because I know there's a save for probing deeper.
Yeah, and if he succeeds, he'll know that you were messing with him. Otherwise, you'll just get surface
thoughts for right now.
What is Sal's surface thoughts while he's telling Runai this?
Well, for first off, while he's reading it, it's imagining several little rat people running around, like Runai. And then as he's telling further more about his stuff, it's images of 2 women, one a darker tabaxi, one a more calico looking, a young tabaxi girl, big bright eyes, which is why he uses the name Bright Eyes on her, and just thoughts of that night with him running through the forest.
Okay, I will say, as a reward for using this Detect Thoughts in a careful manner, And at such an opportune time, this will be when you learn that Bright Eyes is the nickname he used for one of his children, and is the same one that he has given to Eos.
That's connecting a lot of dots for Kidney Bean, considering what happened in the Whitehorn Forest, and not that she would actually deeply know fully, but potentially what Sal saw that drove him forward before she cast calm emotions on him.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about in the cooldown, but we'll just keep it rolling for this episode.
Yes.
Is there anything else said between Sal and Runai of note?
Not just some kind of putting out what his past was back there. Not really worried that they're tracing him down, but probably that he might have some bad reactions into that area.
And Brunei probably just reassuring him, and letting him know that he'll be accommodating, however, and if you have any worries crop up, feel free to talk to me, and we can speak in Undercommon, of course. If we need to make adjustments, we will figure it out as we go.
Yes, it has been good having a little friend like you. I hope.
I have appreciated your friendship as well, Salazar.
I hope whatever is going on back at your home is something that can be rectified. I will not lie that stuff with judicial systems and whatnot is not an entertaining issue, but I am sure the other two will also be very willing to help.
I definitely appreciate it.
Jargo, who rolled a 20 on his stealth check, kind of comes out, says, this makes sense.
Right, Jesus, where the fuck were you?
What the hell? Kidney Bean just looks over where'd you come from?
Sal's hair is just standing up on end.
He
Thinks
comes,
there's no such thing as privacy anymore.
he walks right over and reaches out a palm to pat you on the back. It's it's going to be okay, my friend. It's going to be okay. The Merchant Coast and Andridge aren't getting along very well recently anyway.
Well, you've got people like you stalking around in there, goddamn. But,
yes, you learn to keep a light foot around my house. Well, back
See
when I
that?
had it, when I lived in it, yes. Sneaking out, You know how we kids get it. Just anyway, let's go to bed.
I might need to learn a few things from you eventually.
You guys go to bed and proceed to Crane the next morning, making your way out of the swamp and by that strange Exodus River Inn. You might even that morning notice those two elves that had met you, Kidney Bean, kind of waving at you from over the wall with big knowing smiles on their faces.
And Kidney Bean will wave back friendly, but then immediately turn away and just kind of roll her eyes.
You're not sure how to feel about those two. And you made your way to Crane. The sun's going down. You see the prismatic light from the Crystal Tower. You make your way into the walls. It is late at night, to the point to where the teleportantus would not be running. Just like any business, it shuts down at night, and you would have to stay the night in an inn. Is there a particular one you'd like to go to?
Kidney Bean wants to go back to the Fire and Stone.
Beautiful. Well, there's probably exactly where everybody else would go. Since you had a good enough time last time going there, you all get your mini homes in various states of disrepair or not. perhaps you guys have a few drinks in the bar. Would you like to put on a performance this night, or are you too focused on other events?
I'm not gonna put on a performance this particular evening, but I am going to I am gonna pull Jargo aside and kind of walk him over to like the tavern or the owner of the Fire and Stone, and kind of explain the situation and how I'm trying to get him on the straight and narrow path.
Okay, you introduce Jargo to Kess Ironheart, the gruff half-elf, who was nice enough to limit Sean from ever coming back to this bar by banning him from it, and sees that he's a friend of yours and welcomes him with open arms. Says, I can always use an extra hand behind the bar. You know how to mix drinks. I might have been known to mix a drink or two in my time. Just not after I've had any. Well, that's just fine, because you're not allowed to drink while on duty, okay? He kind of grimaces.
And, hey, I will say, Sugar, in the Scale Stride Quarter, they do have an arena. That's always looking for new, fresh up and coming faces if you feel like putting your other talents to good use.
I've only been here once before. I'll try to make myself useful, I suppose. He looks at you, Kidney Bean. Thank you very much for everything. I can see that you're full of care.
Yeah, I kind of have a soft spot for individuals like yourself, seeing as I am one. It might be a little too late for me, but that doesn't mean it's late for anybody else. So I always try to lend a helping hand where I can. And that being said, Kidney Bean is going to reach into her coin purse, and she's going to pull out 25 gold and hand it to Jargo.
He looks at the coin, looks at you. Are you sure? I don't need it. Or are you giving me this as betting money?
I said no. Well, okay. Depends on where you're betting, because the arena does hold that. But just don't blow it all in one place, Sugar. Please.
He reaches out and hugs you. You hear from behind, oh, making friends pretty fast nowadays, I guess. And you look behind you and see Yowie.
Kidney Bean, like mid-hug with him, just immediately pulls away from Jargo and just kind of runs and jumps into Yowie's arm. Yow, yeah. I was hoping I would catch you.
Hey, he looks kind of somber on his face. He's like, did you hear about your friend, Toby?
The gnome?
Yeah, he's running with the Barkstones now.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't say the name. They're like a freaking curse. You say it more than 3 times and they're gonna come running.
I managed to say something to him the other day, and he said that whatever debts you had have been cleared up, so you shouldn't have to worry about them.
Well, dang. I was kind of hoping they would follow me so I could beat them to death. I mean, I say that because I'm not, inebriated or on drugs. I just really don't like them.
Flings his bone straight brown hair over his shoulder and over his elven ear, and he kind of bends down and gets close to you. Says, listen to me. Don't mess with them anymore. They're more trouble than they're worth. Okay, if you ever need anything, come to me and ask me. Do you need some money now? Are you doing okay?
Oh yeah, for the most part, and Kidney Bean's going to explain everything that's happened to her before arriving to Crane, and she's going to be speaking in Sylvan.
Cool.
You know, the grungs, the order of songs, what happened in the Whitehorn Forest, and you know what happened after, also in the order of songs.
Wow. Okay.
And
I feel comfortable enough pulling back from that scene a little bit, unless there was something extra you wanted to add.
And Kidney Bean was just gonna ask, about Tigra, how, she's doing, how Mossball is doing, even though she doesn't quite understand Mossball in the slightest.
He says, Teagues, I think she's making her way back in good with the defenders of the Circle of Balance. They put her on some sort of hoity-toity special mission. I don't really know much of it. She said she couldn't tell me, but she did go back to Andridge, from what I understand, so you might see her there, if that's where you're headed.
Yeah, apparently something's going on with one of my party members, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm in a party now. We're called the Curse Breakers. It's a silly name.
I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I've heard better, but it's alright.
Oh, thank you.
I'll say the day before, while you guys were traveling, some of you may have asked about the letter, or about what exactly was going on at the Fortress of Fears, and pretty much that information kind of gets disseminated. Maybe one of you takes a glancery look over the letter if Runa hands it to you or whatever. But at some point, Eos learns that Barnabas, Runai's creator, has been sanctioned by the archmages of the wizard for crossing the conclave and some other things. And Weiser would just say in Eos's ear, this is no laughing matter. Dealing with these archmages is like dealing with a dragon. Really just depends on what color they are, and their colors can change at a moment's notice. You know what I mean?
I trust a mage about as far as I can throw them.
Honestly, if I weren't one as well, I'd completely see where you're coming from with that.
You live in my head. I'm kinda stuck with you.
Says, love you too.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we get to Andridge, let's ask around. We'll see what happened. Did we get a name for the pilgrimage he was on? Nobody knew what the name of it was.
I personally can't recall.
I guess we'll have to ask about that too. Hopefully they made it at least as far as their first stop, otherwise we might be a little screwed.
Oh dear, that sounds about on par for our entire journey, to be honest.
They were supposed to go from Andridge to the Merchant Coast, and then take a boat to Esturza, and then take a boat back to Crane. And they went missing, so I guess we'll see where they landed.
Alright, well, I suppose it is what it is. We'll just take it as we go.
The next morning, you guys make your way to the Royal Bastion, which is a massive central district of the city surrounded by 60-foot high ivory colored walls with pointed turrets on each corner. And you make your way inside. You walk by the Court of Justice, which you had walked into to search for Tigre Varaxian the first time you came back into the city. Just massive, wonderful looking, multi-tiered buildings. Looks like maybe they were just built out of the sheer mass that they are, just for the grandeur of it. And then there's pieces here and there where the walls have fallen down and around it. Every time you come into the city, it's a little discombobulating because it seems like it shifts from this time corruption here. Don't know what that's all about. You make your way to the heavily guarded chamber known as the teleportantus. It guards a magical teleportation circle that leads to other cities in the world. There are armed guards there, heavily armored, and it looks like they also have some magus guards as well that sort of ominously just wear fine robes with like leather belts across the chest and stomach. Most of them are elves. Actually, all of them look like elves once you get this deep into the city and to such an important part. Seems like they like familial relations as well as others. There is a little area where you walk up to like a gate. It is a large, finely shaped gate. It'd be big enough for a ship to sail through. And it is currently got its iron bars pulled shut with the 2 maguses out front and 4 armed and armored guards. One of the mages walks up to your party as you slowly approach them, slowly as well, nonchalantly, and pulls out a ledger. And he looks out, he says, names.
Salazar story?
Runai.
Yes, and what company are you with?
Oh, we are not with a company.
Kind of flips back in deeper into the ledger. Flip. I'm not seeing your names.
Oh, were we supposed to reserve this? Kidney Bean?
Kidney Bean just kind of walks in front of them. Try Kidney Bean, sugar. We're part of our own adventuring party called, the Cursebreakers. We formed recently, but, so they wouldn't be on the list, but I'm the ledger, but I should be. I am a citizen of the city after all.
All right. Do you have any documentation? If not, you'll need to go to the Court of Justice right over there and get registered. Once that is all complete, you'll be free to use the teleporter.
So outside, does Kidney Bean have documentation? She's been here for a while, so I'm imagining that would have happened at some point.
Yeah, you weren't born anywhere where you would have gotten documentation, but you would have gotten some made at some point that lists your history up to only about 2 years ago. It's official enough for you, and everyone else probably has something except for Eos. Eos has no documentation whatsoever.
Yeah, Kidney Bean's gonna hand over her documentation. Deal with me, sugar. I promise you they're on the straight and narrow. They're helping me keep straight and narrow, so we should be,
Yeah, it's kind of like that, like the municipal court, like run around, like you're gonna have to go to multiple different places and get everything stamped and verified and get some more documents and go to this other place, and we'll just kind of run through that really quickly here. The only problem we have is with Eos's documentation. For some reason, she has nothing on her origin or her birth or anything, and you kind of recognize that as a problem, Kidney Bean, so you get in contact with Yowie and some of your other contacts in the city and get some made for her, much like yourself.
yes.
Anyway, with all the extra additive costs on top of everything, it might start to rack up. eventually it'd probably even out to about 100 gold pieces for Eos to get her documentation and stuff made, and about 75% gold for the other three, both for using the teleporter and all of the paperwork it took to get up to that point.
Oh, she's gonna reach out to Yowie like he's her freaking sugar daddy.
You guys will now have official adventuring documentation for your party, known as the Cursebreakers. So somebody could potentially come to the Court of Justice, find the name of your group, and know everybody who's in it, where they came from.
Can I try to? Or, sorry.
Where they're going, and things such of that nature. So you guys, everybody, Eos needs to take off 100, and everybody else needs to take off 75.
Officer, I promise.
Would I need
totally
to take off
documented.
75?
Yes, because you still have to go through the same routes to get yourself registered for the teleportantus, because that's extra paperwork and stuff. Like I said, it's like a bunch of different places and stops. Just because you had your papers like Runai and Sal didn't mean that you didn't have to pay the same fees. You guys just split. You guys split the 10 gold fee for the teleportantus registration evenly, and this and that and the other thing. It doesn't really matter. Just take off your gold amounts. We'll simplify it that way.
Can I actually like reach out to Yowie to help me with that fee? I can make a persuasion check or something. I just really don't want to pay these government people my money.
Well, 75 gold is 50 gold of that 75, by the way, is just the raw fee that it takes to go in to the teleporter. So unless you're part of a company or something that's already like prepaid, then you're not going to be able to get through, and that's going to be way more difficult than just paying the 50 gold would initially cost.
Oh, I can pay the 50 gold. I just don't want to pay the extra 25 for the documentation. I don't want to pay the full 75.
Anybody else want to pay her 25?
Kidney Bean, are you having trouble paying? I can cover that for you.
It's not necessarily trouble. I just don't want to give these government schmucks any more of my money. Paying for the portal is one thing, but all the documentation, that's a little much for me and my, little head.
Nobody wants to pay them, but somebody's got to do it eventually. And Sal will just slide a 25 gold up.
Okay. All right, that's easier enough, because this would have been after you guys talked to Yowie and got the documentation created for Eos and all that, so he wouldn't like be there or anything to ask. So this makes sense that it'd just be nipped in the bud. Funny. You make your way back to that massive gate and go in and see that there are usually 3 circle mages, maybe from the school or maybe even from the Circle of Balance itself. You're not exactly sure how prestigious these mages are, but they're kind of wearing normal robes, like I was telling you earlier. They work in some kind of shifts there, and they take the fees up front from everyone. They say 80 gold, and you get a round trip.
Is there some way to make sure that happens? Like, do you give us something that gets us back?
I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
Sal looks over his robes and then looks at his and then goes, I bet your robe can't do this. And he spits on his own robe and watches it just kind of come off.
It just kind of just slides down. Okay. He laughs. You guys make your way into this the middle of this sort of like gazebo, but way larger area where there is a circle in the center. Looks like there is a ceiling over it as well, but it's way up there. It might be like 25 feet off the ground. You would see.
Echo.
Yeah. Well, it might not echo that much because the top is a grate. So you would see somebody like walking around on top of it, some sort of guard with a crossbow.
No, that was just Sal doing the
definitely
echo.
Oh, it's echoing. He's just.
That was just Sal doing it.
Fuck you. All right. Well, we got it. You go to the center. They begin the ritual, and the sigils in the magical circle begin to light up. I don't know what the history of teleporting with any of your characters is, but if you've never teleported before, might be a little bit nerve-wracking standing in the center of this thing, watching it light up and knowing you're about to be whisked hundreds and hundreds of miles away.
So I was gonna nudge, I guess one of the guards or one of the mages that are nearby. Hey, what else, other teleporters do y'all guys have here? Where else can you go from here?
He says, well, you see, right now it's currently glowing blue. And when it's glowing blue, it goes to Andridge. Green is for the Merchant Coast. Yellow is for Sturza. We used to have a green, but that one's been canceled. Used to go to Motive. Not doing so well with them these days, but every once in a while... Actually, I think it did it yesterday. Or no, the day before yesterday. It glows purple. Like right around the full moon. It's just a routine magical fluctuation. You can't use it when it's doing that.
Has anyone ever tried?
He kind of just shrugs. Not that I know of. Any other questions before they finish the ritual and you guys are whisked away?
No, sorry, I was taking
Not
notes.
not a question, but in Goblin, Kidney Bean's just gonna mutter to herself, "Purple on a full moon, huh? I wonder if that was what Wiza was hitting at. Huh."
Yes. Oh wait, that's a goblin.
Yeah, so Runai would probably hear that.
He's gonna just reply back, just in Goblin as well. Just, I'm quite curious, and I wonder why no one's tried it. It probably would have got the best of me.
Do you think that would be the wisest option, though? You seem pretty,
Not at all, but I would be curious, nonetheless.
That's fair.
The sigils start to glow brighter and brighter. And you're like, I don't know how long this is going to take. And you start to hear a low, magical, resonating hum. Looks like it's just coming from the engravings on the cement floor itself. You look at each other. One of the three mages goes, wait. We need to stop the ritual. It's not exactly in line. It could rip them apart. Bam! And you guys teleport.
Oh, Lord.
Fuck you!
It feels like your whole body is immediately immersed in ice cold water for just a split second. Darkness and light commingle into a shimmering wave of what looks like boiling liquid slime. Just nothing that you can really tell. Maybe if you close your eyes and rub them for a few minutes, you might start to see what it would look like to teleport. And for that instant,
I feel like Kidney Bean would be.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like Kidney being, considering what she's been through, would be used to this feeling in some sort of way. So I don't think she personally would be too irked, but I am curious about how the others are doing, kind of looking around at her party.
I think Runai would have some experience with it, with the dealings at the fortress.
Yeah, it's possible you guys have used teleporters before. It's still a powerful and discombobulating experience.
Yeah,
even if you've
probably
done it,
nothing on this scale, nothing this big.
even if you've done it 100 times, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's pretty shocking every time you do it.
Yeah.
Like a roller coaster, your stomach's gonna drop every time.
Yeah, I say that specifically for Kidney being, because she's literally been pulled through a plane of existence
You've definitely
and then to a
dealt
different
with it
one.
before. Well, you were dead when that happened, though.
Well,
there could have been other teleports
partially.
that happened. Anyway, we're getting too ahead of the goose here with the gander. In this state of teleporting, each of you in turn is going to hear a very soft, slimy, moldy voice speak to you. Come to me. I'll see you soon.
Ugh.
And you guys
That's-
arrive.
It's like worms crawling in my ears. I didn't like that one bit.
Sal's hair is just standing up and his tail is stiff.
You find yourself in what looks like a fortress chamber of a castle, in completely different architectural arrangements. Many people nearby. Looks like there are 3 mages here as well. Looks like they just got finished completing a ritual on their end to receive you. What were you gonna say, Kenny Bean?
I know it's a long shot, but I don't know, something just in me like instinctually just wanted to make a like a history check or something akin to that, just to see if I recognize that voice, because you said slimy and moldy. I was like, huh, that's odd.
I
Nope,
believe it was our sandwich.
You haven't heard it before. That's just my sort of description of how I imagine Sandwich's voice would sound.
Okay, I was just curious. Something, like I said, something just internally was like, I don't know, it just kind of registered or clicked with me.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get to that too as well at some point. This is particularly because you were teleporting in between places.
Well, did anybody else get a message from the local deli?
Unfortunately.
Is that really the name we're going for? Whatever. I don't get paid enough for this.
You guys all
I'll do
start
you, boo.
arguing a little bit amongst yourselves, and the mages look at you. One of them's like, "Get out!"
Oh, that's it.
We're coming.
That's it. We're done now.
Yeah,
Good.
we've already
I
received your documentation and stuff. You're good to go.
don't get like a stamp on my booklet or anything. There's no stickers.
He says, "Come over here.
Yeah.
What do you want me to stamp?"
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know you could.
That's
Just let us go now.
that's what I thought. Get out of here.
Okay. These guys are dicks here.
Yeah, the mages are definitely human. They got big old white beards. They definitely look older. Some of them look like they probably should have retired a few decades ago. They definitely have little patience. But you make your
They
way
must
out.
not like tourists.
You make your way out of the teleporter, the magic circle in Andridge, and take a look around. I think that's where we'll pick up next time.
All right.
I've got a good description here, but I could make it better for the beginning of the next game. It'll be a good point to jump off. So I'm gonna stop the recording, and we could talk a little bit afterwards. You guys feel like doing a cooldown, maybe?
Yeah, I'm cool with
We'll
that.
see. I'm stopping it. Bye. Everybody say bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Don't tell me what to do, Will, but bye.
Okay, my bad. Bye.